Good afternoon. This is another recording. My name is Miss Sharonda Coleman, and I'm here today with my client, Miss Megan Friedman. Hi, Miss Megan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. So, what brings you in today?
Well, um, I had a little bit of a breakthrough with some of my personal relationships,
Okay.
and I wanted to get, you know, some clarity on maybe what I should do moving forward with these personal relationships.
Okay. So, I hear that, for number one, I noticed that you're very bubbly today, and so that's a good thing. It seems like, unlike last time, you wasn't as bubbly, so it's a good thing. So that you are making a lot of changes in your life. So I did want to acknowledge that you
Mm-hmm.
have a beautiful spirit. And the next thing is you were telling me that you were trying to get a little clarification on these different type of relationships that you have in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, give me an example or explain to me in particular what particular relationships are you referring to?
Well, last time we spoke, it was about the cop I was that was kind of like distant, had one foot in, one foot out,
Okay.
very, friends and more than friends and feelings between each other. And then I had told you that, well, okay, explain everything from the beginning.
Okay.
Me and a cop that's older, probably 50s, 60s, is acquainted,
Okay.
friends strictly. He is attracted to me. I'm
Okay.
definitely not attracted to him because I view him more as a older brother, family type of
Okay.
deal. So I would never cross the line with him. So I would speak with him about personal things. The cop that I was into, I would tell him what was going on between me and him, and he felt as though I deserved better. So, um, the night I told you that the cop called me and was like, "Hey, I don't know who you were talking to, but somebody from HPD came and was saying that me and you were hanging out in cars, and I just think that it's affecting. I don't like when my personal business is being put
Mhm.
out there, and someone brings that to me." And I was just like, "Okay." So then I
Mhm.
call him, my friend, and I was like, "Did you tell anybody?"
Mhm.
He said, "Look, why are you asking me that?" And I
Uh-huh.
was like, "Because Luke told me that it came back to him from his job that me and him were hanging out." And he was like, "Luke is seeing this girl I'm friends with in parking." I specified, is it the girl that has the ponytail, the skinny girl, tall, young looking? He was like, "Yeah, that's her, my friend." I was like, "Okay. um, what about it?" He was like, she said that he was laying in her bed and wanted a relationship, and he was clingy and all of that. And I was heartbroken, of course. And then I brought it to the officer I was speaking to. I said,
Mhm.
"This is true. There's no reason to lie. We're not in a relationship. I don't have your child.
Mhm.
We are trying to see if things could work out later. So just be honest and open with me." He's like, "I
Mhm.
have no idea what you're talking about. Um, I know this girl. I text her from time to time, but I don't
Mhm.
know her that way. I don't know her in that way to where I would see her outside of work or talk sexually with her or talk about a relationship." I was like, "You're lying." Like, I
Mhm.
started questioning everything he ever brought to me, and I told him that.
Mhm.
And I showed you text messages between me and him, and how I just kept going back and poking and being like, "I hate you, like you're a liar." And then me and him kind of just fell off a little bit, stopped communication. We kind of got to a place, even after I showed you those text messages, we got to a place where we would stop talking about it
Mhm.
and just chill out, just stop talking to one another, um, and kind of let the situation go, because he's not going to admit to it, and I'm not going to, you know, trust that he's being honest with me. So we just need to let it go and have space. So then my friend, the older guy, he comes back and he's like, so what you doing? I was like, watching TV. And then he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, how is LaMonica? That's the girl's name. And he said, who? This is in text message, not over the phone. So you had to type in who instead of think about who I'm talking about. He was like, who? I was like, the girl that you said was speaking to the cop I was speaking to. He was like, oh yeah, her. She's fine. I was like, really? You forgot her name? He was like, oh, I call her nickname Nikki. I was like, okay, everybody calls her LaMonica, but you call her Nikki, okay. So then I was like, okay, I'm watching you playfully, because still, I feel like he would never take it that far to make me believe this elaborate story just so I could stop talking to this cop. And he was like, don't be watching me or worried about what I do, whatever. Blah, blah. I let it go. Then I let it rest for a few days, and I was like, let me text him again to see if I bring up Nikki's name, he's going to be like, who? So I was like, how's Nikki? He was like, I haven't spoken to her in a while. She's straight. Why? I was like, why haven't you spoken to her? You don't have her number? He was like, no, I don't know her like that. I see what you're trying to do. So obviously he's like defensive. Why would the first thing you go to is be defensive? Because like days after we joked, he wouldn't think I would have took it seriously. So I just automatically knew he was being shady. I was like, okay. Anyway, I went, let it go, and then I texted him a few days later. I was like, is this girl's name really LaMonica? Like the girl that puts the boots on the car, like specified, since he want to act stupid. He was like, okay, that's not her. I said, who is it? He's like, I'm not gonna tell you. I didn't tell her your name, and I didn't tell you her name, and she don't need to know your name. I was like, why? He was like, because that's messy. I was like, I don't work at the gallery anymore. How would that be messy? I don't have her number. She don't have my number. So let me know who it is. He was like, no. Why are you worried about it? Just old and too old to be that messy. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. Good night. That was last night. So this morning I texted him. I was like, I can't believe you just bold-faced lied to me. And he was like, I only lied about the names. Like everything else was true. I was like, how am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to be like, okay, he lied about this and kept it going until I brought it up, but everything else was truthful? Like that don't make no sense. And he was just like, oh, wow, okay, you don't have to believe me. You could go run back to Luke. I was like, I ain't even talking about running back to him. Why are you so obsessed about who I'm talking to? And if I'm talking about Luke, and he would bring it up. He would be like, what do you see in him? Like, is he young? What do you, like? So I just drew the conclusion he made the whole thing up because he wanted him out of the way so he could come try to be with me. He had recently left his wife, told her, I don't want to be married. I want to, be a single player or whatever. Mind you, he has a daughter, 19 years old. His wife left him. He had to go find an apartment. He's lonely, all of that. And he thought, he's like, so what do you want to do now that you're not talking to Luke? I'm like, nothing. I don't want to do, like, you're 60. What are we going to do? I'm not attracted to you in that way. Like, you're not that good. Like, no. So I just drew that conclusion that he was trying to get something out of me that he felt like Luke could get easily. And I was just like, no, and please don't talk to me ever again. And he's like, I'm sorry. I said I was sorry. Like, what else do you want me to do about it? I was like, I don't trust anything coming out of your mouth. And I'm done with the conversation. I did apologize to Luke about the accusations, but me and him definitely did need this space because he wasn't doing for me to get that reaction, like be up in arms and mad about something that I heard from somebody else, you know, and then not trust him. Clearly, we kind of just needed to separate a little bit, and we needed to like I needed to assess the situation and be like, how much do I care about him? Because I mean, we aren't together, so even if it is a lie, why am I so mad? And why would he care if I'm like, I fake my orgasm? Like, that just pissed him off so much. And I'm just like, why would he care? Why would he be upset if I upset if I don't believe him? All of that. So I think he was telling the truth. I think he isn't talking it her. He could be talking to anybody else. I just think that I should stay away from him until he comes correctly. Like, if he's ready for a relationship. I don't have time for a situationship. I'm just not built like that to where I can handle it emotionally. So I did apologize to him. I didn't say, you know, okay, you can go back to doing what we're doing. Like, no, just like, we're good on that. I did ask him to come by because I ordered this K9 unit shirt for my dog, and it was too small for her, and his dog is perfect size for it. And I was like, you could come by and get it. I mean, I think she would look super cute in the air, cop or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'll come. And he didn't come, and I was like, why? Why didn't you come by? And he was like, okay, so I feel like, you know, I'll be tempted to do something sexually to you or something. And I was like, or you could just come back, get the shirt, and I go back in the house. Like, what the fuck? I mean, what? I don't understand, sir. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, I know myself, so I'm just going to stay on my side of town. I was like, whatever. So that's where me and him are. We're having space. Me and this dude,
Okay. I don't mean to interject, but because you've said quite a few things as I'm listening. Okay. You're saying that you feel as though the older gentleman who gave you the information was being deceitful due to the fact that he wanted to start a relationship with you, an intimate relationship with you, a serious relationship with you, due to the fact that he's hurting because he just jumped from one huge relationship, a lifelong relationship with his wife. Mm-hmm. He ended that quick because he wanted a younger woman, obviously, to keep him spontaneous or whatever his reasoning for jumping ship. Mm-hmm. And you were very upset because you originally entrusted in him, and that was due to the fact that you wasn't getting what you needed from the younger cop. Mm-hmm. So the older cop, he already knew that. He knew you was going to be vulnerable. So he seized the opportunity to draw the attention from the younger one. Like you stated, that he even mentioned, that, like, what do you see in this younger cop that basically you don't see in me? An older gentleman that's much more established, that could teach you things and all of that type of stuff. But it was his delivery and his approach. He should have never told you fictitious information just to get a reaction out of you, to see how you really felt about the other gentleman and how you would feel about him, knowing that, because he thought that he would be